Lust is the enemy.
When I first brought this up, she was like, okay, like.
I don't see a positive side to lust, not one bit.
Blah, 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 blah.
Snap keep on showing me my exes. Flashback and pictures got me asking, is it lust or do I really fucking miss her? Barely Christian, but this shit it got me reading scriptures. Now I'm on the phone with bitches
It
claiming
is
I'm
episode 5 of Surviving No Contact. My name is Jace. I'm sitting here with.
Brielle.
It's our first episode after our live episode at House of Dreams. And before we even get into today, just want to shout out House of Dreams. Appreciate y'all for giving us that space, letting us use your space. Helping us out. Shout out Fiend for capturing video, capturing pictures. Just shout out y'all whole team, everybody there. Before we get to today, tube drill, this your reflection, your thoughts from our first live, like our first podcast episode with a live audience. Like, how did that go for you?
It was great. It was great. I gained a new perspective. I need to, like, it's such a new perspective that I can't even tell you what it is. I need to, like, reflect on it and understand what took place there and where the event can go. It was very intimate and it was very real and it was very raw. So, yeah, that's my piece on the live podcast event, guys. It was great.
It was awesome. Shout out to our performers. Shout out Layla. Shout out Kids.
Yeah.
Shout out Boy. That was awesome, honestly.
A lot of real talent, a lot of great personalities.
For sure. And everyone who participated, I think we had 4 audience members participate. Yeah, we had Lachelle, we had Ian, we had EXO, we had Donnie, we had, I think that was it. If I'm missing somebody,
Okay.
yeah, I think that was it. But that was awesome. So, like, we're definitely looking forward to the next one. It's going to be the first Friday in October, God willing. So we're going to be starting to work on that. And, promo shows. By the time you guys see this, promo will definitely have started and we'll be, popping out those tickets again. So appreciate y'all. I'm sorry, I'm low energy. I've been working a lot.
Energy, because
Yeah.
I'm low energy too.
We need a so okay. So we gonna use this segment to kind of get our energy up before. So today we're gonna talk about lust, guys. If you guys didn't see the title already, we're gonna talk about lust. But not but. In addition to that, before we get into our discussion, we got some hot takes that we want to kind of explore and challenge each other with. So do you want to go first with yours or should I go?
You can go first.
Okay. Wait, okay, no, I gotta find it. I gotta find it. Okay, so do we necessarily have to say if we agree with the hot take or not?
Just say it.
Okay, so the hot take that I'm gonna I guess, argue or explore is that lust isn't the enemy, it's the starter pack for love. That's gonna be the first hot take. So, Bria, I'll let you. I'll open it up for you first. How do you feel about that?
Lust is the enemy.
When I first brought this up, she was like, okay, like.
I don't see a positive side to lust, not one bit. That's something that you should flee from, that you should run away from. I could see why maybe somebody would say that it's what is the starter pack?
Is it the starter pack for love?
I can see why somebody would say that because, like, first you look with your eyes and you're like, I want that. I need that. And then once you get to know the person, it's like, I actually want more than just that. So I actually I see where it was going, but I don't think if you look at somebody and you say, like, oh, I like how this person looks, I don't think that would be lust. So if you're actually starting off with lusting after that person, I don't see how.
So lust. So yeah. So I think that is a conversation to be had between lust and just attraction.
Yeah.
Right. So you could be attracted to someone without having lust. So I think that's true.
Yeah. I think people are, like, probably mixing it up. Like, I like how this person look, and I am sexually attracted to them. So, that must be lust. When that's just a natural.
Yeah, like let's get out the definition as well. That's what we usually, whenever we start like this versus that topics, we usually start with the definition, so we all on the same page.
Right. So, lust is more like you're looking at a person like I just want to use you. Like I want,
Oh.
like I like how you look. I
Mhm.
like how you look on my arm, or I
Mhm.
like how I just want to, do the do. Like this is for me.
So it's like the
So
materialistic version of love.
yeah.
It's like,
So there's no way that lust can be the starter pack for love.
mm,
Attraction,
so
a physical
attraction.
attraction can be the starter pack for love.
Okay.
But there's definitely a difference.
I like it, bro. I agree though. Like at first, I was like when I first saw it, the reason I wanted to, because it seemed like it was controversial and it seemed like it could go either way. But after breaking it down logically, obviously, lust. I now because it's like I feel like as a man and just learning when people always say you're only this, when you're younger, you're only 19, you're only 20. Like learning now, like that frontal lobe development is actually
Oh,
like
your frontal
crucial.
lobe was developed, isn't it? I'm
It's
I'm a
like
year away.
it's starting to like come in a little bit, and I'm starting to see like, and we'll talk about it more today, but like it's your frontal lobe development. I don't know what. Oh, I need to. I'm not a doctor. I don't know nothing about it. I just always was told about it, and now I'm starting to understand things more. But I'm almost certain that it even affects the things that, like, it even affects your attraction, your libido, all that. Because it's like now, I feel like all my relationships used to start based on lust. I would see someone and was like, wonder how she looks naked, or like, or she's hot, or it's
Hot.
it's
She's
it's,
hot.
it's starting off of like it's anything because it's you don't know anything, and I feel like anyone that you're just approaching based on their social media, it's probably based on less because you don't know anything about them unless obviously you get to see them, talk on a podcast or something. But if you just if you just see someone on social media like, oh, I like their pictures, I need them, I need to pay her bills, I feel like that has to be less because that's
Why?
one thing I don't understand in this culture is how can you see someone and DM someone like just cold DM, never met them, have no clue what their favorite color even is, and like you're sending them cash app, I'm gonna pay your bills. Like, oh, if me even saying that now, is there women like he's obviously broke, right? But like no, like I mean, right now you'd be right, but even when I was like up, like that was never like a thing to where, oh, I see, let me pay her bills. It's like I think any man, well, I can't say any man. Future mentioned he spent millions on women monthly, but he
But
seems miserable to me.
yeah, I'm
But
about to say.
hey, it just depends on the quality of life. But definitely, I think my point where I even brought that up, like reason I was saying that is like now, like I can't even get sexually attracted to you if you suck. Like I remember I was like sexually attracted to some nigga. I'm like, dang, she really sucks, but man, but now it's like no, it's like when I look at, I've been in relationships and I see what has came from putting certain things high on your totem pole and the outcome of it. It's like bro, it's just really about how you treat me, and there's no way to know how you treat me unless I actually get to know you and hang out with you and see you on
Right.
bad days
Clark
and all
that
that.
too.
So it's like that's where sexual attraction changes to where I can't even like, it's not even possible type of thing. So now, so this question, so this is actually a good hot take. That's basically my response to it because I mean I agree that it's not the lust can't be the starter pack for love because it does like I think lust is the enemy. It does destroy. I don't think there's when I think about lust, it's really nothing good about it. When I think about when I was overwhelmed and over, it was like so much of like my day to day. All it did was throw me off my purpose, my path, and distract me. So
Right.
I agree. So now your turn.
Okay. I don't have. Oh wait, well I do have one, but it's not really. I'm just gonna say it, y'all. All right. Lust feeds on what you constantly expose yourself to, what you watch, what you entertain, and what thoughts you let linger.
So it said lust feeds.
Lust feeds on what you constantly expose yourself to, what you watch, what you entertain, and what thoughts you let linger.
So lust feeds to that. So
It
or
feeds
it feeds
on
off
that.
of that. So
Yeah.
those things can make your lust bigger. You're
Yeah.
saying okay. I think I agree. Yeah, I honestly cause like I had to delete Twitter cause like I'd be just scrolling.
Oh
I
my
was like, why the hell am I
gosh.
horny? Like I'm just
Oh my
chilling, like working. Like, and I just went cause I saw it said Trump almost got shot. I'm like, oh, let me go look. Just ass everywhere. Like, what's
Right.
happening? Like, so. I have like a bunch of pages I manage, and it's like there's some pages that I only post on that I don't even look at my algorithm because I've just ruined the algorithm by following too many baddies and girls who be on BS. So I'm scrolling, and I'm like, this is just not. This is do you look up? And I remember back in the day, it used to get me for real because I'd be looking at something or whatever, and I'm texting her or I'm texting this person because it's like I just, this what I'm on now when it didn't even have to get like that. So I definitely agree. Music, all of that.
Definitely does
Yeah. I was just watching this video of this
amplify it.
like future school shooter kid who was like, this little white dude, and his brother was like antagonizing him. Like he called him a bad person. If I could find a video, I'll put it up. But the brother had
Go
called
away.
him-
Ben, you call me a bad person, I will shoot you. It's not funny. It's not funny.
Well, I think it's hilarious because.
It's not funny, Ben.
Alright, see? It's because he doesn't get a turn on
No,
this.
it's not. It's because he calls me a bad person. He's such a bad person. Ben, I will. I need to go to a fucking asylum.
I do?
Yeah,
Look at you, you're crying, pointing a gun at me.
it's an airsoft gun. You're supposed to shoot each other with it.
Oh, so you can threaten people with it?
I can threaten you with it.
Okay. But I know you will not pull that trigger, so.
Oh, really?
Oh my god.
I will pull this trigger if I want to, Ben.
Fine, you can play Fortnite all you want.
Not, I don't want to play Fortnite.
Okay, then why are you down here?
Because of you, Ben. You don't get the fact that calling me a bad person actually offends me.
Why? Because you are?
Ben?
whatever, and like the kid's too young. And honestly, probably too young for Fortnite or too young for shooting games because this dude just pulled a gun out on bro. Like he is loaded. Like it's an airsoft.
It could kill
gun.
him.
It could hurt him. He's like
Hurt him or
it could. Well,
I don't know what
airsoft. Like
airsoft
I mean,
gun
they're
is,
like
so,
BB.
but-
It's like a BB gun.
Oh,
So it's like
but
depending on the type
still.
of the BBs, depending on the range, they got some metal
I got
BBs.
shot with a BB gun before.
You have?
Yeah.
Where?
On my leg.
Ooh, why? T, like, was it like on purpose? Like,
I was in like 6th grade.
oh, I mean,
She
that's
brought it to school.
she brought it to school.
Yeah.
What? This is actually insane. You got targeted. Like this is why are we not
But
talking about
it
this?
was just like, it hurt, but it wasn't like,
Why she do it?
I don't know, I forgot.
What? You got shot
Yeah.
and then you forgot why?
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
No. I mean that just blew me. But I mean, yeah, I brought that up because it's like he's exposed to probably so many arenas or so many games and so many situations to where pulling a gun out is fine, or has a family that probably talks about guns a lot, pulls out guns or whatever. Like, whenever they pull out, a shooter or any of these people, when they look at what was going on at home, it's always very evident. You see family photos being taken with AR-15s. Like, how can you not, love that? And that's just one thing. But when it comes to lust, it's it's kind of the same thing but different niche. But I agree. What you feed the soul, super important. Any context. Do you have any other points on your hot take? Because mine is just I agree.
I don't know, man. Hold on, I'm sorry, I got distracted. My mom keep
Bring it
texting
back.
me.
Let's lock in.
Let's feed on what you constantly expose yourself to. I mean, other than I don't even think it's a hot take. I just think it's common sense. Like whatever you constantly feed is going to grow. So if you constantly are watching shows that has a lot of promiscuity, or just seeing things that have a lot of promiscuity, you're planting seeds, and it's being watered, and then it's gonna grow, and then you're gonna do something about it. And it's really that simple. There's really not much else to say, but I hate when I do that though.
You hate when you do that. Why?
Yeah.
I mean, some things don't need to be explained. That's why the live. I feel like the live audience episodes are for that context where you're watching, like, oh, I have a question. It's like, okay, so come next Friday when we do it if you got actual questions, type of thing. Because all we're gonna do is give you the facts that we know are facts, and we give you our opinion. And if you have anything in between that, you're gonna have to DM us, or you're gonna have to pull up to the House of Dreams on the first Friday every single month.
That too.
But okay, that was, we're gonna try to, and you guys can always like suggest different segments or different ways to just keep you guys entertained as we try to educate you and heal with you, because that's the goal. But we can't do that if you cut it off because we get boring. So let us know what to do. We're just simple people who work a lot and who are usually tired by the time we shoot this.
No, stop. You're pleading your case right now.
Because I'm just letting people
Well,
know.
I mean, we're
like,
just tired, so if you
you
just
know,
keep watching.
please, just don't click off. Just keep watching to the end, so our watch time can stay up, and so we get brand deals, and then
that's
it'll be
good.
dope.
What?
Like one day we'll have Demetrius Harmon sitting right here talking with us, bro, and then that's the goal. Like shout out, bro. Like he. Okay. Anyway. Today we're talking about list. The reason why I wanted to talk about lists is because I just looked at our last few episodes and kind of found a common denominator as to not to say this is a series or anything, but as we are, progressing, this seems like the next conversation to have. We've talked about sex before marriage. We talked about red and green flags. We talked about love versus attachment, and I think lust is, probably the next thing to cover before we move on to whatever is next. But reason why I chose it, I do after just my experience. It's funny. I used to believe that that one hot take that lust is the starter pack for love. That's because I used to.
You believe that?
I used to like that.
Hold on, wait. That didn't just pop up. Like you just. Yeah, that was actually.
No, that was there. That was.
But you believed it.
No, yeah, I used to believe that.
Coincidental.
Like at least, well, without ever like saying it out loud. But I mean, I used to look for things that girls do based on lust, or I used to, what's the word? I would romanticize lust. When it was given to me or presented to me, or girls who would lust over me, I would say that I'm loved, and I would internalize that, and I would find comfort in it. So I used to definitely my relationship with love, lust, self-love, all that is just very weird, and it's just been evolving over the years. But I definitely used to agree. So like now going through life and watching a life that was driven by that, or a life that was very consistent with that, I can say I feel like I'm the perfect person of like a guy is trying to like stop being lustful, get disciplined and stuff. Like please talk to me, because it's like I'm definitely not. Lust is like that's people don't understand. Like once you like stop, once you don't surround yourself with it or whatever, you kind of it's just guys be like, how you know who? It's just you just stop really. I had one guy when I told him I was abstinent. He was like, so when you just don't. Yeah, I don't. Like bro, like I don't. No, it's not that
just goes
hard.
into like what you feed, like because the way that you stopped. You see how he used to be, but he stopped. Now he's not.
Mm-hmm.
That just proves the hot take that it's true, not
Mm-hmm.
false. That when you feed lust, it grows.
It does.
And you starve it, it goes.
It does, and honestly, you'll look at yourself from the past, or you look at things that used to attract you and be like, gross. Like, what were you thinking? Like, what were you on? But no facts. And now just going through life, I've seen what it did, and I do think it is. A lot of people blame social media for the dating collapse right now, which I think is part of it, because it amplifies lust, it amplifies the accessibility of everything promiscuous and all that, so it just makes it easier. But doesn't mean you have to indulge. You can have discipline, but social media helps or hurts, I guess. But I think less is the core problem, because men reward beauty with money, and then women see money as caring about them. And I just saw a video, like they got Tyler, bro. Tyler used to be so wholesome and stuff, and now I see this video of her. Well,
Wholesome.
let me not say that. I just didn't know Tyler had this. I didn't know that she lacked substance in this area. I thought she was more. She just always seemed like a cool, wholesome girl. Like, you feel me? Like, I never really heard her speak on her relationship opinions. I just,
Did you hear her first song? Her viral song?
Well, songs. I mean,
like
songs
the song
are
that
different.
she actually came out with.
Songs are different.
made
Because
her-
me, if you hear some songs I make, then you might think I'm other than who I present myself to be. So I try not to judge music, because there's always, you never know when they wrote it. You never know if they're channeling an old version of them. Because sometimes when I write, I'm channeling an old version of myself to tell a past story. So,
Right.
but I did hear the song. So, I mean, I see what you mean. But I see this video talking about, if he not Chanel me, he don't love me and all this. I was like, bro, what? And then, of course, the top comment, all the men disagreeing are clearly broke. What are you, like, bro, like, it will help women more to not, like, romanticize money. Because I've heard so many women, like, they stay in a very bad situation, And it's different when you're depending on the guy. That's a whole different scenario. But a guy that just gives you gifts, that is not equal love. It can, but still, it's not. You know that it's, and I think that's a huge problem because then you're building a relationship based on two different false pretenses.
Yeah, no, I remember me and my friend back in high school. It was like, rapper Instagram baddie relationships were like the thing. So when we would see it, it was just it went viral. You were there. If you were there, if you know. And it was a specific rapper. He would always cheat on his girl. Always cheat. Always cheat. And then he would like apologize, like getting her a Rolls Royce or something. And we would just look at it like, this is like, and she's like on Instagram smiling like, he got me a Rolls Royce. And he finna go cheat on you with another girl in that Rolls Royce. So that money definitely does not equate to love. I don't know what it could be a filler for, because I don't go as he just has more experience with that type of stuff. Like when he says like he has, I'm just gonna cut it right there. He just has some more experience.
With what?
Like,
like money and
like because you're always talking about it. Like, we're not always talking about it, but you refer to it with such
Well, I mean, yeah, I do have. I mean, I always label my wallet once I started dating. I mean, since like honestly, this dated back to like elementary school. So I went to Grandview. Shout out Grandview. They had a fruit cart. I went to a white elementary school. It was dope, bro. I ain't gonna lie. They had a fruit cart. I went on a limo ride to McDonald's. There was so many. White schools are the best. Okay. but why I bring that up? Because we had a fruit cart and the fruit was like it was 25 cents a piece. And I remember my grandpa used to give me like a $5 a week allowance. So that was like at least like $1 was 4 pieces of fruit, 4 apples. Every fruit, no matter how big it was 25 cents. So I would just, and every Friday they would sell popcorn for 50 cents a bag. And we had those big suckers too. That was $1 a sucker. And I would just buy them for every girl in my class. Like every time I got money, I would just, here you go. Here you go. I remember being in daycare, giving my Thomas trains, like, here you go. Like, I'm over not playing. I just always, forever, was trying to buy friends, whatever. Because I never knew. I was undiagnosed autistic, did not know how to make a new connection, didn't know how to make a friend. I didn't even know how people made friends. And I would switch schools so much, so I could never really take my time with it. So it was always very like, that was always what I did. And especially once I got older, and now everywhere on social media says you have to spend $1,000 first day or you hate the woman. So it's like you gotta, show up with that. So, that I think the wrong guys, like nice guys, there's not even nice guys, just uneducated guys or just guys who don't love themselves in the dating field. It's just so dangerous because you're just gonna get like, you're gonna turn into something you don't want to be if you're not guided, if you don't have that foundation. But I didn't want to rant, but when it comes to, I think what you were saying, like my experience has been leading with my wallet, and then that person falls in love with the security you give them. Either they fall in love with the security you give them that they can't give themselves, or they fall in love with the luxury that you give them that they can't give themselves. For me, I ended up giving someone luxury and security that they could not give themselves, and I basically created a spoiled brat who honestly before wasn't like that. Like, very humble beginnings, never really had their own place, always was going around, and then I'm like, okay, I'm going to take you out, to Utica and give you nice things all the time, like just do whatever, everything, and never like spend on myself really. So long story short, do not lead with your wallet. Even with the one, don't lead with your wallet. Like it's the one, you should not need to lead with your wallet. You shouldn't need to pay their bills before knowing them, like before you even know. Do you have someone even I could be paying for you and your size bill,
So what would be the positive side of that when it comes to financially? Because like you shouldn't lead with that, but like that's also a part of it. So how would you balance that?
So that's something last time I had money, I did it the wrong way. So next time I have money, I'll let you know what I'll do. But I mean, I can't speak from experience anymore. But my plan is, I don't know. Like my plan was just to find somebody before I had paid, so I would just know it's real. But if I don't know. It's like, because even what you said, when I was like, oh, this person was God-fearing, like, how did you know that? And I'm like, you're making good points to where I'd be like, oh, find a God-fearing woman. But it's so hard to learn to know. I'm learning now to know if someone has truly got fingered. You're not gonna find it out in like a week or two. Like it's going, you know, you need to see
take
them
some time.
during duress or whatever. So you know,
During what?
stress or
Oh.
duress or,
Oh.
and it's So I honestly I couldn't tell you. I would just I'm not gonna lead with my wallet. Try to lead more. I don't know. Try to be more myself. Like I always would like try to figure out. I would always I always ask a lot of questions anyway because I just like connection, like knowing people. But I would ask questions so I could be who they needed, be who they wanted. Who was your type? What was I would even ask them about their ex. Like people always want to talk about the worst parts of the ex. No, what are the things he did that you like that you hope that the next guy does too? Like because there's always those things too.
You just
So
want to.
I just want to. I like ammunition. I like to so I can work with. Because I got into sales, so like sales helped me a lot with dating. Because like you have your discovery phase where you figure out everything. Well, this was when I was doing the sales that was bad, but there was the sales to where you have your discovery phase. You figure out things about them and use against them when they try to say no. Like that's how I learned sales. Like
Wow.
you ask them a bunch of questions and you figure out where their pain points, what are their passions, their motivations, and then when they say they don't want to buy, it's like a guilt trip. Oh, you just said you love your kids. How dare you? Whatever. But anyway, like I was using that the same type of.
That would work.
Yeah, I mean, it would mainly work with like beta males.
Okay. Oh.
Like
Okay.
it would be like guys like, oh, you have to ask your wife. Oh, wow, look at you. You must be. And at the time, I was like 18, 19. So imagine an 18-year-old telling you, oh, you got to ask your wife. Oh, never mind. I'll just go talk to somebody who actually owns this house. Sorry.
Y'all are crazy.
No, borderline.
No,
Once
but-
I realized because I was taught sales by a pyramid scheme, like MLM. So I was taught sales first the wrong way, and I made good money doing it, but it was hard sleeping that night. And then it was like someone told me like I won't be manipulated, and I didn't know I was manipulated. So I'm like, how dare you? I'm not manipulating you. I just want you to buy this fucking life insurance,
Right.
like trying to make money. But I got home and I'm like, dang, because that was like my worst like sales presentation ever. I literally said, you don't love your kids. Very bad thing to say. But I was in their house and they had a really nice house.
Oh, you went all the way.
I went all the way in.
So you hate your kids?
My
No,
sales
you-
manager at the time, he was way worse than me. That dude was a shark. He tried this. I told him he almost sold my mom life insurance. My mom is the hardest sell. You mean mom? She is not the easy to sell. He almost, and that's close. He almost sold her life insurance. She already had a policy. That's how you know he's crazy. But no, bro was a shark.
Get it?
Bro was a
Please.
complete shark, and that's how I learned sales. Go back.
Okay.
Yeah, his name was Andy. I'm not gonna say shout out Andy because Andy low-key sucked, and he probably won't see this, so it's fine. But no, Andy, bro. So like, I'm not even gonna get into all that, but yeah, that's how I learned sales. And it was manipulation. Once I learned that it was, I started trying to, because I realized you only really need to manipulate if you're selling a product that sucks. So I'm like, let me find a good product to sell, and then it was the product was good, and then it was other issues. So that's borderline why I started entrepreneurship, so I can sell myself. Wait, what? What I do? Are we like so off topic right
Yes.
Well-
and that's why I started entrepreneurship. This started with us.
now? Hey, you guys tuning in, so we're trying to keep you engaged, and like they say, stories help. But I mean, so the way to connect it, because learning sales helped me get better. Like, I'm not gonna say better with dating because it's
That's how I
not a
started
game.
entrepreneurship.
But like learning sales, it changed the way I looked at dating because I looked at it less as trying to manipulate or trying to get an outcome out of this person to let me be the meest me I can and hopefully repel every girl who hates me. Because anytime I would find out a girl didn't like something about me, I would try to hide that thing every time they came around or just try to get rid of that thing or change myself. So I'm gonna move on to the next topic because I honestly don't know what your question was or what we're talking about right now. But we're still in like the intro type of thing. But,
Oh, Dave, how much time is on the clock, bro?
ouch. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say we in the intro. We didn't kind of got into it.
No,
but
we're not in the intro.
okay. So wait, I had a question. So from a woman's perspective, obviously you're a woman. From our conversations, it seems like you haven't struggled with lust a lot. But when you look at lust from the female perspective, do you feel like the problem on the women's side is it just lust, or is it mixed with things like societal pressure, insecurity, survival strategies?
Ask again.
So when it comes to lust, and from the female perspective, because I know the way it takes guys down and it kind of conquers us is with just, I mean, very simple. It's very head on. We see something we like, and we're willing to destroy our lives for it in a sense. But why? Or I guess a better question is, how do you feel like lust comes up for women, or how does lust affect women in the dating world?
I think women really like attention in general. Lustful actions bring attention. So but it women can be very. I don't want to use the word manipulative, or like maybe subtle or sly. Okay, I'll say those words. Not manipulative, even though they can't be. I'm not. They can be, but that's not what I'm trying to use right now. They can be very sly or subtle. So they could do. Ask the question again, so I make sure I'm staying on track with my answer.
How does lust,
from the women's point of view?
Yeah, like where does lust come into play for women? Like how does lust trip you guys up?
So I mean the obvious ways, like just appearing, like showing certain body parts off. That's one.
Mm-hmm. So you feel like showing certain body parts off could be considered like encouraging lust, or how would you say? Is it them acting on lust, or how would you? What's the context?
That women know that men lust over them, so especially if one can amplify that by showing their body, because they want attention. A woman knows what to do to get attention from a man, especially a man who just like a beta male. Is that especially one of those?
That's actually very controversial, because a lot of guys would say being an alpha male is having 300 bodies. So I don't think is that whole alpha beta male thing is like everyone has their own definition of what each one is.
So wait, okay, so the beta male would be like, oh, I know how. Oh wait, no, so alpha is what I'm trying to say then, because if it's a woman, it could be both,
because they're both like bad. Like both
they
of
are
them are bad names. Honestly,
I'm not even trying to. Okay, forget the alpha beta, because we could talk about it, but that's not what I'm trying to get into.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do an episode of that for sure. Though.
I'm saying like a woman knows how to get a man's attention. Maybe a man who like. I feel like I want to use the alpha though, because alpha is like, oh, I got all this money, I got all these cars, and I got the baddest women on my arm. Mm-hmm. So it's like, to get that type of man, to get other men to, it's like it ties in, because the man wants other men to look at his girl, and she wants to be looked at.
Yeah, and wants her girls to be jealous of her man and the things that he does. Yeah.
So that's one way, just physical appearance. Another way that could be more sly is like your actions, like I was watching Girlfriends, and it was this episode where what the heck is her name? I don't know her name. Joan.
Joan. I should have said it. I would have showed my
she was trying to be, make partner. She was trying to make partner, and it was a way where like men kept talking over her. So it was a little joke. It was like pull your zip, like unbutton your top and lean down, and then she tried it. He was like, it was a joke. So he was like, good try. You almost got me, but still, it's like little actions like that. Like, oh, let me just. But you're not really trying to be overt with it. You're being covert. So little actions like that. And I also think you can use your words to be lustful. Like, even if you're like fully clothed, but like, if I say this, it would like capture them to look at me a certain way or to do a certain thing. So I could give an example, but you didn't ask for one.
All right, let's hear it. What's the example?
I didn't have one.
Well, you already gave one with the episode, so you kind of did. But no, yeah, I definitely wait. No, yeah. I honestly think it's just so much easier for women to like seduce a man, just because men are like 15, 20, 25 times easier than women. When I like actually being out here and having conversations, it's like, wow, like it's crazy. So I think men are just super easy, and then also it's just, women are women, so you guys have the, soft touch or whatever you guys can do. So I agree. I definitely agree. To kind of progress the conversation and keep it moving. A big reason. So my initial, my initial argument, the topic was, I think lust is the reason why. It's the reason for the collapse in the dating field that I think everyone talks about daily. And to go back to our episode on sex before marriage, and to tie it into even what I was talking about, the frontal lobe development, I feel like early on, like lust or attraction is like the first thing people see, and not even just early on, for a long time, because it takes, I feel like, people so long to even have any substance to bring beyond just being existing and being a kid who barely has consciousness. So I'm like, the fact that people date like before 18, before 20, before 21, and like they're having sex before then too, is so, it's rare. That's why I think it's so rare for the high school relationships to stay or whatever, because most relationships early are built on lust. They're built on what I've seen in movies and what I want to try on her, or what can, we're both, she's a cheerleader, I'm a track star, this is gonna look good. Or it's hard to, that's honestly like the whole sex before marriage thing has been like a constant theme of this year, because it's like just now understanding in entirety why that was ever a rule. But for you, like I said, I feel like well, not to say this is for you, but in youth, I feel like, again, relationships start as less driven because there's little substance. Everything starts with physical attraction, love. How would you? What's your perspective on just young love, and do you feel like young love can exist with no lust, with no attraction? Do you think there's enough substance to actually form a meaningful relationship young?
I think it depends. I can't just say no, because I think like when you're young, especially like young and in love, like those type of desires arise, and you want to explore them because you're young. You don't really know why you can't. Unless you weren't told, just no sex before marriage for no explanation.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were told with no explanation, you don't really know why you can't. So you want to try it. I can't really say that there's no genuine love in young love, even if there is lust involved. But like, y'all, when I'm really trying to separate the lust from just being infatuated or like wanting to do something with somebody because you love them, because you like them. Like lust, again, like lust is inherently bad. Lust is like a selfish thing you want for yourself. I want to do this for myself. I don't care about the person who I'm doing it with. I don't care who I have to step on to accomplish this. I want it, so I'm going to get it. That's how I view lust. So I think if you're young, and just because you have a sexual desire doesn't make it lust. It means you're attracted to this person and you want to do this with this person because you love them. And high school sweethearts, and they get married or whatever. And then there's young people who just who are just have those feelings and they want to experience it. So they say, hey, I'm just going to experience it with you. And whether we make it out of here or not, I really don't care. At least I can walk the halls and say, I did it. I don't know.
No, that's facts though. I've definitely, that's not too crazy.
Yeah, it was like the show. I remember I kept saying that the show Forever like really captured young love very well, because they were just, I don't know. I think it captured young love very well because of how it all went, and the back and forth, and the waiting for a text back, or looking at your phone, waiting for them to text back, falling asleep on FaceTime, all those things that you do when you're young and in love and in school. And it was also very, you watched the show, so you know what it was going on in that show. Forever on Netflix.
Oh no, I didn't see it.
So I don't know.
No context, no explanation. Sucks.
So, I don't know. I don't know if that show. I think that show can. This is off topic. I do think that show can promote lust for a person because you're watching somebody else do it. But like in them portraying it and being in it, that could very well just be real love, and they just need to know how to properly put sex in its content in its context, which is marriage, and
Mm.
just growing with that person without laying down with them.
Yeah, I can't say I've ever seen a movie or show that actually didn't like they actually like presented like sex in like the correct form when it comes to sex before marriage
I
without it
do.
being like a super ironic thing. She's waiting. She's the oh my god, this is so taboo. Like it was never like a normal thing.
I
It was
know a
more
show, guys.
like, oh, let's hear it.
Boy Meets World.
Oh, I've heard of
I
this.
love that show,
I never
guys.
seen it.
Corey and Topanga. They were
Oh,
literally.
oh, oh, wait, no, I seen some. Okay, no, I need to watch that. I
Yeah,
actually love
that's
the
my
clips
favorite
I've
show.
seen. Okay,
I watched it. I watched all the seasons multiple times.
I need
And
to see that.
Corey and it was a time where they were like, I think they were like, they were in high school. I don't know if they were like, I don't know how old they were, but they were like, let's sit on the bed, and Corey thought that Topanga was ready, and they like had a real raw conversation about like, hey, no, I'm not ready. This is not. They didn't have sex till they got married, so they were together
Mm.
from like 12, and they got
Wow.
married at like 20 something.
Wow,
And they didn't have sex until their marriage,
that's awesome.
their honeymoon.
That's
It
awesome.
was a great show, guys. I love that show.
And I don't think we see that enough. We never, and I feel like if we showed it more in movies, it obviously movies would suck and tank probably because people don't like to see that type of stuff. But we're all taught about sex from movies when you're young and your parents ask, let's talk about the birds and the bees. You're like, no, I've already heard about that because it's like you go to school with other kids and stuff. So
Yeah.
and everyone is taught it in the context of you just do this thing with this person. No one's taught it like you were the first person that obviously showed like I need to be my word more, but you were the first person I ever heard say, oh, sex was a gift from God. Like everyone made it seem like
It's a
God
bad
damns
thing.
this thing. This
Yeah.
thing is awful. You're lucky if you get to do it once or twice without being upset about it. I'm like,
That's
I'm
crazy.
thinking it was a, but that actually, the context of everything makes sense. But my question from you is, as a young woman, and you mentioned in previous episode, a young woman who wants to be married, how do you navigate male desire versus real connections, and what's your advice for women deciphering if this guy actually likes you from this guy's lusting after you, he wants you, and you are a trophy?
I think it's very obvious, honestly. I think when it comes to deciphering, it just depends on the woman and like where her mental space is. Because I think I can't say. Well, honestly,
I can't say. You
I
look like you
think-
could say. You didn't want to say.
I think a woman could tell. Like, I'm in a space where like I'm not thinking too highly of myself, and this is attention, and it might not be the attention that I want or the attention that can get me, my dream husband, but it's here and I'll take it.
Mm.
I think you can decipher between that and this is a guy who actually wants me from me, or at least wants to get to know me on that level to get to that point.
Mhm.
I think you can tell. It's just like what you want at the moment, or how you view yourself. Because if a man presents you and he's asking you the right questions, he shows the right values, and you're like, ugh, I don't want that. I want what's quick.
Mhm.
It can scratch my itch as fast as
I
possible.
wanna challenge you.
So I think you could tell. So whenever a man's like it was this is one guy, I refused to talk to him. I refused. It was no point.
Refuse.
I refused since I was like 15. You
Oh,
trying to talk to me?
dang.
I mean, we're the same age, but like
No,
I'm like
saying,
I'm
that's
not
awesome.
ever gonna, because I already know like what your angle is. Like you just want
What
a
type of time you on?
relationship. You just want a relationship, and you just want to have sex.
Mm.
And
Consistent. Okay, I see what you're saying.
yeah, like you just want to have somebody. That's lust. He like the person just wants to have somebody, and they want to have sex with that person, and they want to like walk around. Like it's so pointless. It's so aimless. Like
Okay.
I want to have a boyfriend, I want to have a girlfriend, and I want to be able to have sex with that person. It's just like, what's the point of that? When on the other hand, it's a guy who's walking up, like who's, building himself up as a man, and he's like, I'm actually looking for a woman to walk through life with. And when that approaches you as a woman, you could be intimidated and be like, well, I'm not that.
Most of them are very intimidating.
You know?
I can speak to that. That is very scary. The second one is surprisingly scary than the first for most women. But my follow up was: do you think that a lot of girls ignore? do you think that girls? So since you're saying it's obvious, do you think a lot of women, kind of fake play the victim? Then do you think a lot of women like understand what they're getting themselves into when they rock with a guy who's undesirable, and then they kind of blame. Let me phrase it different. This is like me trying to phrase it to the answer I want. My opinion,
Yeah.
my opinion is that women will have a bad type, you know, choose or not even have a bad type. They have no type, or they have a type and they aren't healed enough to get that type, or they don't know what their type is. And the constant guy who's always going to be in your DM is the lustful man who just wants your body, and it's so easy to just pick the nicest looking one and just try it out, as opposed to figure out. For one, don't I would say just don't use your DMs as your dating pool. I would say just that should be a rule of thumb. But I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
It could go either way, but it's for a rule
Depends.
of thumb. Usually, if a guy's DMing you, there's not much he knows about you but how you look. So,
Yeah.
type of thing. Even me, if I see a girl out in public and I want to talk to her for whatever reason, and I just see her body is just ridiculous, it's obviously.
Well, it depends
It's-
on the Instagram page.
You're correct. You're correct, because you can obviously see, what's going on, what's being posted, and you can see with the girl. Like, if you are a girl and you post crazy, like, stuff
Right.
like that, promiscuous, your DMs are probably off limits because everybody, that's the only thing that they're seeing, whether you are actually like that or not. Because, like, I was about to say, like, if I see a girl out in public and there's not much I know about her, she might have a pretty smile, I might hear a voice, super sweet voice, and she might seem cool, and we could even be in, like, a church setting. But if I see that her body is just, like, overtly, like,
Out.
banging, like just crazy body to where it is like super like you never seen them girls. They're just like,
What's
what are you
the
doing?
question?
But my thing is, I won't even try to talk to you because
Right.
I know that you're gonna know that's the only thing I know about you. So you know that I'm talking to you off of your body, even though it could be something else.
What's the question?
Oh, so my question. No, because that was the point I had to make. But no, my question was, my opinion was that women they know what they're signing themselves up for, and they can tell that this guy, they know that he doesn't really like them, but they try to, fit him in a box, or they just ignore it. Like, do you feel like a lot of women ignore when a guy is showing red flags just to get that attention that you're saying that
Yeah,
they
of
crave?
course. Yeah. That's
It's
okay. I guess I'll
obvious.
go into
Yes,
instead of just
obvious.
saying
You're
yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, anybody does that. Like when you want something, when you have a void that you want filled, you don't really care about how it's coming.
Mm.
So you take what you get. You don't throw a fit.
No, that's facts. Like we talked about taking love or licking love off a knife or something like that. But we almost done here, y'all. Don't click off yet. Like, please just hang
Oh,
off a little bit
as you
longer.
scroll,
Get it, because I'm like,
we
well,
gotta need a whiteboard. For
we
us
do
or
need a
something.
whiteboard. I need my iPad back, bro. I do, but
Where is it? Well, this after
You said what?
nothing before we get off track again.
Okay. So our last closing discussion, our last closing point. Why do you feel like so many people feel that modern dating is bad? What do you feel like? So obviously, I've said my point, and that lust was like a problem, and obviously you agree. But what other factors, or do you feel like there's any other contributing issues to the dating field being as bad as it is, or do you
Yeah.
even think it's bad?
Yeah, no, it sucks, and it's like I think a lot of people just are unequally yoked,
Mm-hmm.
because like unequally yoked isn't just like a Christian term. Like, are you a believer? Are you a believer? Equally yoked means like, are y'all on the same level in general? So it could be, men want a certain type of woman want a certain type of man, but it's like they both know that they're not gonna get that, so that they settle for each other. And then they go off of what they're settling for. Like, oh, I know this girl probably gonna cheat, or I know this girl probably got a whole roster, so I'm just gonna play my role and trick
Wow,
or whatever.
I never heard you say that before.
And and then the woman's like, hey, I'm just. It's like people take pride in the wrong things. The men take pride in being able to spend money on a pretty girl, and the pretty girl takes pride in having money spent on her. And it's like the things that actually matter aren't valued, like family, children, growing together, actually building a legacy for your children. Those type of things aren't valued anymore. So the dating pool sucks. It's terrible, and that's like, you really have to be like, you really gotta wait on whatever God brings you for real, because
Yeah.
that it's dangerous out there. I don't. Let me shut up.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't the type of arena or the
Shark.
type of.
That just came to my that shark culture, like just this plotting. Who
Mhm.
can I sleep with next? Who can I sleep with
Yeah.
next? Who can I? Oh my gosh, y'all! Like, what's really? Let's get to the root. Let's get to the root of this. Like, why do you want to sleep with everybody? Everybody, and it's not like no judgment, no shame.
A little bit.
No, it's really not. It's really. I can't. I'm not judging. I'm just asking why. That's
That's gonna be
and
an
if you
episode.
feel judged,
That's
then
an episode.
that ain't got nothing to do with me.
That's a whole episode for real. Cause I know a few reasons. Cause I mean I will briefly like I was in a. I always call it my whole phase, but honestly, it was a phase of me just being single and trying to find love. And every girl I would try to find love with would just want sex, and I would just be chilling, and it would just always. I would be like, "Hey, I want a relationship," and it would just turn into whatever. I swear, most of the guys I call, I wasn't trying to do anything. I was just here for fun,
Vibes.
chilling. And it's like, oh, well, I have to prove to you I'm not gay, so whatever. But
You're
no,
throwing
like
the
I mean, obviously
craziest
there were
things.
times where I'm like, I really only would initiate. I've only initiated that with girlfriends, never like whatever for the record. But like I said, the what I feel like is the down. Well, what you had said, the why, and I won't get into the why, but I just feel like that is such a loaded question of why these guys or why guys might sleep around so
Shark.
much because
Shark.
it's
Shark.
once you get out, it's so draining. Like it's
Yeah.
oh my goodness. Like, and I'm not. I know
I'm
dudes.
saying yeah, like I know. I assume.
Like, yeah, it's hella draining. No, but I was even saying no. But I know guys with like 300, like triple digit bodies, and it's like I don't even like how do you, bro? Like how you sleep at night? That's so much. But that's why I couldn't even that far with it because I'm like every person, even where I was, it was like I know a lot about all of you because I ask questions about anybody I'm involved with. So it's like I can't know that many people's trauma. That's a lot. But kind of wrap up here, like you're saying, there's not too much to talk about when it comes to the dating field in 2025. It's pretty non-existent. And what I was going to say is this isn't the time to lean on your own understanding or try to find anyone. I was always a try to find someone. Ooh, let me find like this and that. And it's like everybody I was finding sucked. So I'm like, it's all I can find. That's we all here. I mean, that's all that's here. Your therapist might say, oh, you need to keep looking. Well, that's all I can find. Or just wait until what's given, wait until what's easy, what's natural, what you kind of just don't expect walk into. I feel like those are going to be the the situations you want. And when it comes to lust, I feel like a good way to defeat it is just self-love, surrounding yourself with people who don't struggle with it. Obviously having some people to bring along who do struggle with it that can, get the help with you. But
I have something to say.
Yeah.
I think a good way to overcome lust is humility. Like really humbling yourself before the mighty hand of God.
sheesh.
Amen.
Amen.
That'll really, cause like lust is like just not setting aside the sexual portion of it. There's the lust of the flesh. There's the lust of the eyes, and there's the pride of life, and those all are in the same, group. So once you set aside what you want, because lust is selfish. Once you set aside what you want and you die to self, meaning die to what you think, die to what you think is best for you, and really take up what God has for you. You do better to like lust just naturally leaves because now it's not about yourself. So you're not thinking about what can you do to benefit you. You're thinking about you're a serve. You're here to serve. You're here to serve others, and then everything just naturally comes and flows to you off of that. Matthew 6:33.
That was hard. And my little input on that is dang, I had it. Where'd it go? Yeah, so lust is it's trying to fill a void. So that's why I believe what she said will work a lot because for one, with more humility, you'll realize that there's nothing you can do to fill the void that God
you
will
just
fill.
wait and let God fill it.
So like I feel like humility, like that's honestly really good. Being humble, and loving yourself, loving God, putting
When you
God. I
love
mean,
God, when you love God, you love yourself. Like you don't really know, Psalm 139 says that God, He made you wonderfully and fearfully. He curiously created you. You know, He curiously created you, and that you should look at what the word curious means in Hebrew. But He took His time to create you, so it's like He once you know Him, you learn. It's a
it's a verse.
this
It's
verse.
always a
It
verse.
says, once if you lose your life, you will find it.
Mm.
And if you, I'm just gonna stop right there because I think I'm quoted wrong if I keep going. But it definitely says if you lose your life, you will find it. Oh, lose your life for His sake, and you'll find it. If His sake is God, is Jesus. So, you really find yourself because your life, that's you. Like so you find yourself when you find God. I couldn't tell y'all, boy. I didn't know who I was until I actually just one random day just start seeking God, and I really found like my self-love just comes naturally when you hear from God every day and when you're in His presence. It just like real self-love, like it just
Oozing.
naturally just pops up. Like I don't even know how to say it or explain it, but for real,
For real.
because
No.
I got nothing else to say.
No, like, and I say that, like, and as we wrap up here, first of all, just, we appreciate everybody who's watching, appreciate everybody who's been tuning in, because we really feel like this is, something that can help a lot of people as it grows, so we appreciate everybody, every viewer, but, we talked the last episode about my self-love journey, and I always kind of say, like, I feel like I'm not going to say I don't love myself, because I feel like I'm in a spot where I definitely do. The reason why I keep saying I'm almost there, because it's like it's still doubt, and we're always trying to grow, but it's still like there's doubt, there's uncertainty, there's days where I'm doing things I've never done before, and I'm constantly doing that, so I don't like being new at stuff, and lately I have to do a lot of stuff I've never done before, so that is something I'm battling with, because I used to place my value on my capability and my utility, how I can be used, and if I felt useless, I felt useless, in the literal term. So for me, the reason I brought that up is because like the last 8 months, like since January, I've gotten way closer with God. I've gotten more like just spirituality in general. My faith is just insanely crazy when it comes to the ways He's provided and just showed up this year, and I feel like that is like kind of that is what you need to do, because I mean me, like I'm so big on self-love, and like humility is honestly something like that is I didn't even realize, which it was definitely a part of it, like going from I make everything happen, and you'll still hear me say that sometimes, just because I mean it's I'm building a brand based on like a lot of different things, but entrepreneurship, hard work. I post a lot of motivational stuff, so you'll hear me a lot of times say, I make stuff happen. When I'm an artist, Eli has a song called Mr. Make It Happen. I love that I play a lot, but I'm gonna always remind y'all, like, I work my butt off all day. I do so much all the time, but I truly don't think, like, it's definitely Him who puts it together. I'm putting my works in. He ties it up.
A verse. I'm gonna put a verse to what you're saying. There's a verse that says, "In Him I live, move, and have my being." So anything that you're doing, you actually can't do anything without Him at all,
Literally.
because it's His breath that's allowing you to breathe right now. So.
Quick example before we wrap up, y'all. Like this place, this new studio, and we didn't even say anything about this. We talked about.
I see it.
Yo, we're in a soundproof room. I don't have the door closed right now, but this is a soundproof room. This is our new studio.
I'm all happy. Like he did the work.
Man, he did the work,
but no, yeah, he did though.
Man, so real quick, how this even came about? Like, this year has been honestly crazy. So super quick. So episode coming
super
soon.
Quick.
It's not gonna be super quick, but super quick. We have an episode coming soon. One, I feel like I've been waiting. I want to share my testimony because I truly believe my testimony will create. And that's not. I don't know what the goal is with sharing testimony. I know you talked about testimonies being powerful, but I just feel like my testimony can, whether it creates believers or just helps people, or just give a perspective. But like, this year's been crazy. Like this last 12 months has been stupid, insane. But yeah, this whole year, I started this year off just interning at my partner's studio, my partner's mentor, Rose, the founder of Bank Rose. I got out the mental hospital for the last time. Went there, offered photography services in exchange for shelter. Just networked every day. He was having like 5 to 10 clients a day. So I just kept, building my network up, networking with models, rappers, figuring out where I would go. I had no clue what my career path was earlier this year.
Really?
I know, like, when I was in the hospital last, they asked me, first of all, we're going to end up talking about all of it, but when they asked me when I came in there last time that we're going to even get out, I'm like, first of all, if y'all can't make my wife like me again, you aren't going to help me, so you just shut up. Like, I was belligerent. I was so upset. Like, I did not want to be there.
What were you doing like for a career before you went in there? Like you were sales?
Yeah, I went full-time entrepreneurship 2023, and I had just been, in business development, coaching, marketing.
Wow, you just switched.
Yeah,
wow, that's actually crazy. Maybe you should save it.
Yeah, I'll save that whole story for sure. But just going back to this year, like, I started the year, had no clue really what I was going to do. When they asked me what I was going to do last time in psych, I said I'm going to start, a job at McDonald's, live on someone's couch, get by for the rest of my life. I'm like, I'm tired. I was exhausted from entrepreneurship. Like, and going from, that 6-figure month that I keep talking about to zero, that kind of broke my spirit. I'm like, I took my whole life. Like, I was 23 when I did that. It took 23 years for that to happen. So I'm like, I'm not about to, that's it. So I'm like, I did that. That was cool. I blew it, and that was my chance. That's kind of how I looked at it. But this year, just God just blessed me with opportunities and doors, and He kind of forced me back into entrepreneurship where I was staying. My partner was an entrepreneur. I didn't have a car. My BMW got stolen like a couple weeks after I got out the hospital. So I was kind of forced to start from scratch, and like the label came from, just watching, Kid Shot Kid Prodigy, hearing him in a session, just being super vulnerable and real. And when I saw he didn't have a team, that's kind of where I always wanted to own a record label because music is my number one passion. Marketing and sales has become another passion, and record labels are essentially music marketing companies. So, to wrap up this example of why my faith is strong and why you should love yourself and all that good stuff. My partner, and this is crazy how this happened. This dude is like 31 or something and was in the middle of his prime of just opening a new studio, had plenty of clients, and his business was doing well. I was managing it, so I knew I was managing his social media, his operations, and everything. He retired June 5th. He decided he was done with this. He left me his studio, left me his book of business of clients he'd been building for 10, 15 years in engineering that paid, like, my first 20 days taking over, I made $1,100 just off studio time from him, his clients alone. He retired, so he left me his studio. It left me with debt, so I had to try to navigate that with having low income. Found a partner. Y'all, that's a story for a super another day. That completely did not go as planned, but it was good for what it was. Like, it carried me through the season where I needed that help that he was able to provide. And, God sent him. He sent this guy because, without him, I would have been on the street so, like, I always appreciated when he first came. But
God used him.
Yeah, like, God, like, and I feel like God could even use people. I don't know his faith or whatever. I know he had a different religion, but I don't know, who he prays to. But God used him still. Like, he brought him in my life. Without that, I would have had to go out on the street with all of my equipment and everything and figure stuff out without shelter. So that helped me bridge the gap until I was able to make this happen. So I actually called this place when my partner first retired on June 5th because somebody told, this one place, no deposit, super dope places, all that. Calls them, no response. It sounded like their phone was out of service. They never responded. I tried. They said they had rent starting at $500, so I was on it, and they just never responded, so I forgot about them. A lot of things happened. I get a new place with the partner. One of my clients got caught doing bad stuff in the bathroom, so I got a complaint. Long story short, he dropped, and it was just a bunch of mess. I paid the Russell like $3,500 in the matter of like 2 or 3 months just off of fees of trying to switch stuff, and I was like, enough is enough. Well, no, God was like, enough is enough. I had 2 days to come up with $1,700 to take that place out of my ex-partner's name. It's a long story of why that would have to happen, but I needed to give them $1,700 within a matter of 2 days, and it got to the day like 3. No, it got to like the last day. I had $900, and I was just sitting at my desk that was at the other studio. I was just praying, like, hey, I already
Hey.
prayed for this, and I know you're gonna make it happen. I'm just like, I just like you're reminding God is crazy, but I'm like, it is like the date's coming up, and it's almost like he's like, oh yeah, and then like 2 hours later, I promise you, I kid you not, the guy who owns this place called me and was like, hey, got your voicemail from 3 months ago, 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah.
Called me and was like, yeah, we got a place available, $800, move in. That's it. That's all you're gonna have to pay. It's crazy, and this is even the crazy part. Obviously, this place is really nice. You guys will get a tour, but everyone else in this place, so I've already made friends with a few other studios and engineers. Everyone else who's in this place, like even this guy down the hall, they were like, "Why didn't he tell us?" He was supposed to let them know when it became available because everyone knew the previous owners. They spent at least $5K building this booth. They left this booth in here. I didn't do any of this. They left a booth in here pre-made and everything. Everyone that was seeing this place wanted it, and they wanted the guy to call them. He called me, a stranger, over people he knew for years. So it's like this isn't me bragging. This is just like this.
That's God.
It's a whole God thing. So it's like that's just we'll end with that because I feel like maybe next episode it might be time. What next episode? Yeah, we might be able to sit down and like do a testimony episode, or do like a part 1 maybe or something because I feel like it's gonna be, it's gonna be layered. But moral of the story is, bro, like humility is gonna take you far regardless of your struggle. Because once you realize you can't get out of it alone, that's the first step of getting out of it. Because you feel like, okay, if your first step is what do I need to do, I mean that question just needs to be, the answer needs to be turned to God, or otherwise you're gonna be on the wrong path. So didn't want to make this just a huge sermon, but honestly, these are like really tough issues, and I feel like you guys look for solutions and everything else. So unfortunately, you guys need some sermons, but.
Yeah.
Brielle, I will look to you for some last wise words before we log off here.
My last wise words is one way if you don't know where to start, because if you don't know where to start when it comes to humbling yourself before God, there's this thing that I did when I first started seeking God, and like, when I first met Him, I'll say it like that, and it was I would do 30 minutes a day. And I would like every single day. And of course, it'll grow from this, but at the time, I was just doing what I heard a pastor say, and what God used a pastor to teach me. And it's 30 minutes a day, so you do 10 minutes reading the Bible, 10 minutes of worship, 10 minutes of prayer, and that's just.
Okay, 10 minutes. I just made a new schedule. So you said because right now I have 15 minutes of Bible reading in there. So you're saying what I should add? 10 minutes of what?
So it's 30 minutes total. 10 minutes prayer, well, whatever order. I forgot the order, but I know it's like 10 minutes reading the Bible, 10 minutes worship, 10 minutes praying. And that's just to start somewhere, honestly. And like actually, make it worth something, those 30 minutes.
Worship.
Read, worship, pray.
That's actually, so 30, yeah, okay.
30 minutes.
I think I might add that. That's
right?
Okay.
And that's just, and you say, pray, actually pray. And if, pray verses, don't just talk, talking is good too, because like talking to God, they did that in Psalms, but also find verses and pray. Like, David prayed, creating me a clean heart and renew a right spirit in me. He prayed, search me and know my heart, try me and know my anxious thoughts, point out any wicked way that is in me, and then lead me in the way of everlasting life. He prayed stuff like that because you need God to clean your heart and renew your spirit, because, the heart is desperately wicked above all else, and no one can know it but God. So you pray verses. I said that to say pray verses also. Find verses that have to do, like, say you're struggling mentally, mental health verses, and say, God, help me keep my mind stayed on you. Help me to keep my mind stayed on things above. There's a verse that says, a mind that is, to be carnal minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Help me to keep my mind stayed on things that are of life and peace, and to think on those things that are good, and to praise, that's Philippians 4:6. So things like that, or 6:4. No, 4:6, 6:7, things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Those are some wise words indeed. And to end it off, first of all, I appreciate everyone. We love you guys. End it off. If my solution for you, if you are struggling with anything we mentioned, lust, grief, well, we didn't mention grief today, but lust, dealing with attachment, you can't get over someone, or you can't get over the problems in yourself, or you're just struggling mentally. what I need you to do, and what we both suggest, is to turn on Surviving No Contact. Open up our playlist, watch Trauma Bonding, listen to our Spotify playlist that I'm dropping soon.
Oh, we got Spotify?
Well,
Oh.
we'll be on Spotify soon, but I made a Spotify playlist
Playlist.
called
Right.
Surviving No Contact that's
Okay.
full of music that I like to listen to when I'm in my fields. So
Okay.
we'll drop that too. I'm not gonna say it's gonna help because all my therapists always say listening to sad music is so terrible. It shouldn't. It's not gonna help you, but it helps me. It feels like I'm being validated by this person who also shares a similar pain. But before you do any of that, the best thing to do, lock in with God, lock in with your Bible. After that, watch Surviving No Contact. But this has been episode 5. We outie.
See ya next Friday.